Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire. I am glad to see you here today. Today is very exciting. Well, it's been an exciting situation ongoing for the past couple weeks or whenever this was premiered. You already know what's going on because I put it in the title, but I'm going to be doing a reaction to the Wheel of Time TV trailer, which was posted on YouTube by Amazon Prime. Full disclosure, did see this the day it premiered. I watched it just once, just watched it the one time, and then proceeded to not watch anyone else's reaction. So this is 100% just my thoughts and feelings about it. I'm really excited. I can't remember much about the trailer since the last time I watched it. So a little bit of this will be fresh, a little bit of this will be like, oh yeah, I remember seeing this before. But I'm super excited to talk about it. We're just gonna share some thoughts and feelings and kind of open it up to a floor discussion. What do you think about this trailer? What do you think about the casting? What are you looking forward to? What are you worried about? All that kind of stuff. I've talked about the TV show a little bit in a previous video where I made some thoughts and theories and just talked about what I was hoping for, that kind of thing. So we're gonna watch it now. I'll pause throughout with some of my thoughts, and then at the end I'll just probably share some things that I've been thinking about given what we've seen so far. So let's jump into it. Watching this on the handy dandy phone, you know, you gotta watch every big piece of media on a 2" by 4" screen. It's really the best way to go, probably. So let's see. I mean, off the bat, Emmons Field looks really great. I love the building structures. I know that there's been set pictures released of it, which I haven't looked at too heavily at, but I like the way that it looks, kind of almost like a little bit Viking inspired. Super cool. Yeah, I just want to put that out there. I'm very excited to see the locations realized, I think, more than anything almost. This is what I'm like super excited for, is like to see architecture, historical reference points, like touch points, and like historical cultures that they're going to draw on for things like clothing or building style, furniture, all that kind of stuff. I'm really into that as somebody who is a history student, has a degree in history. Those kind of things really speak to me. So yeah, seeing shots like this is really exciting. The shot of the Aes Sedai, where they all stand up in the circle building, and then you have the Amyrlin seat. I don't know why. I like the look of it. I don't know why it threw me off. I guess it's because I was thinking, like, in my head when I read it, I always kind of picture them, especially like when they're in Tar Valon, as kind of like multicolored handmaids, you know, like Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, and more like closely like with the TV show, what they look like in that, like just in different colors, like really plain, like super, just like nuns' habits. I guess that's also what I think of. So to see like it realized, I guess, is just a little bit different, especially with the Amyrlin with like all this stuff on. So it's good. I mean, I'm not complaining. I just thought I would, you know, in my mind's eye, I always imagine them as like nuns or handmaids. I mean, I feel like I have to pause and say something because I can't just be silent for the whole, like, reaction. I mean, all of this looks so good. I like seeing stuff like the dagger, and you know, seeing all the different locations and seeing the because I've seen what the actors look like who play the parts of the characters, but to see, you know, like the Rand's red hair and Matt and Perrin and Gwen and all of them, I'm so excited. It just like really kind of I don't know, cements itself in my mind as like being like real and like coming up soon, because before it was just like all speculation and kind of just taking what I had imagined as I was reading the books and putting that into it, and now seeing this I'm like, ooh, this is different than what I imagined, but it's still good. Yeah, I don't know, this is just making me pumped. I'm not finding really much that I'm like, ooh, about. I'm stoked. Yeah, I mean, the logo's great. I think the other thing that I've noticed in this rewatch that I'm really enjoying is that a lot of it looks, I mean, a lot of it is like really clearly like on location. A lot of it is really practical. It just looks really well done in a way that like reminds me of the Peter Jackson series, Lord of the Rings, the movies, where that was like all really pretty practical. There was, I mean, obviously you can't do everything in a fantasy series practical. You still have to have CGI things. Like in this one, you have the one power. In Lord of the Rings, Andy Serkis was in a suit and then they reanimated it to be Smeagol and Gollum. So obviously not everything can, but this has that feeling of being like practical wherever they can, which just I think adds like a level of legitimacy, a grit, a kind of naturalness to it, which I'm really excited for. I mean, I want to see the Trollocs? Yes. I want to know what they look like. I mean, again, back to the Lord of the Rings thing, fully in my mind's eye, I can only ever picture orcs. So I'm interested to see how they're going to be interpreted as someone who like can't picture them. So obviously in this one, we get a couple like shadowy outlines of them with some horns and things like that. So am wanting to see them and wish we got like a shot so that I could know what they were going to look like. But yeah, this is super exciting. This looks great. I'm stoked. I'm excited to, after I record this video, watch what other people think of this. So, alright, I'll put this away now. I'm done with that. Thank y'all. Other notes about things I'm looking forward to. I wrote them out earlier, previously. Just of stuff, like more stuff I'm thinking about, kind of along the lines of like what I talked about in that other video where I talked about the TV show. So, the big thing for me, I mentioned it before earlier, but I kind of want to talk about it again, is the historical basis and like influences that they're going to be drawing on for the cultures and things like that. Obviously, I know that Wheel of Time is really, in the books, everything's like really well described, down to like clothing, the interiors of buildings, all that kind of stuff. But I'll be interested to see like what kind of real world historical influences will be introduced. I know that when Robert Jordan wrote it, he was really interested in kind of emulating something closer to like a Renaissance-esque European society, at least for like kind of the main parts of the world where the main cast of characters like live and reside, as opposed to what's more traditionally considered fantasy or high fantasy, which is more strictly medieval. So I'll be interested to see how that influences into it. But yeah, like I said, all the architecture, the set design, those kind of things, I'll be interested in seeing like where I can pick out historical references or inspirations. I think that'll be super cool. Yeah, and then also I'm interested, as I'm sure everyone else is, who's invested in this, in like what's going to be highlighted and then what's going to be not included. Just because, even though it's a TV show and it's been renewed for a second season, they can't talk about everything in the books. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of thematic things that they choose to highlight and what things they leave behind. And then obviously this is more for somebody who's probably read the whole series or has reread it multiple times. And this doesn't concern me as much because I've not read the whole series yet, but like also seeing how they're going to set up things that will be paid off towards the end, because I know that that's what happens a lot in the early books, is you read all these things and not everything makes sense, but then when you reread it, you're like, oh my goodness, that was there the whole time. Or Jordan was planning to have this kind of ending or this kind of arc the whole time that he was writing this, which I think is so cool. So it'd be interesting to see how they put that into TV form. Obviously, with Game of Thrones, which was also a TV show, also based off a high fantasy multi-book series, they did not have the same luxury of having a fully completed book series. And the TV show veered a little bit, for better or for worse, into its own territory. Whereas this one has a pretty strict, like, this is what the books are about, and this is where it finishes. So, like, you can't really choose your own adventure on this one. So I'll be interested to see how that works out. Yeah, so I'm stoked. I think it'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's coming out November 19th. There's 8 episodes, so it runs all the way until Christmas Eve on December 24th, which is exciting in and of itself. But I talked about this in another video. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna do it. If I want to talk about every episode individually, or if I want to kind of group them together, or what, but I will definitely be talking about the TV show on this channel, so you can stick around and join me in that. I don't know what form that's going to take. Maybe we'll even, talk about stuff together. So anyways, that's the video. I wanted to talk about the trailer. This is just kind of like a feel good, get stoked video, because I don't have a lot that I'm like not into here. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, that's always helpful, but most importantly, comment. Tell me what you think about this trailer. What has got you excited? What have you, what's got you worried? Maybe something in here that you just want to talk about, or something you're hoping that the TV show is going to talk about. So talk about that below, and I will absolutely respond to them. And yeah, if you're looking to get connected with me in other ways, I have my Instagram, which is linked in the bio, as well as my Goodreads account, which is also linked in the bio. You can check out my reviews so far for the first 4 Wheel of Time books here, and you can talk about where I also talk about the TV show here. And yeah, I'll see you again soon for another video. Have an absolutely wonderful day, evening, night, whatever you got going on. I hope it's good, and I will see you later. Bye, everybody.